offense in terms of tracking the ball for Maryland and their goalie.
Exactly. Always heard about the depth perception for these guys in this building with that backdrop. And for Maryland, lost out because of scheduling a chance to practice indoors one of the days this week before they left there. So how quickly can you adjust in a place where Notre Dame's been 9-1 since 2015?
14 in red as we see the opening face, Danny Dolan. Let's see how he responds early to the Notre Dame shooters.
Henningsen and Leonard, they battle for it, and it's picked up by Notre Dame with the first possession. And a quick score the other way. Notre Dame couldn't hang on to the ball, and Dubik finishes for Maryland. The Irish had it for a moment. Cohen couldn't hang on, and Louis Dubik buries the first goal.
Some guys just know where the back of the net is. This is the all-time leading scorer in the state of Maryland in all of high school history. He's not a big guy. He's not overly quick, but he finds seams in the defense, and he has that sixth sense to understand where the defense is playing, cuts back door, pay dirt.
Goal number 11 for the season for Dubik, who played quite significantly on the man-up team for Maryland the last couple of years. Second one for Maryland, and Roman Puglisi, who you love, Clark.
I love this kid. You're not going to see a lot of goals and assists from Puglisi. There's Bernhardt.
In front, Bernhardt, and it springs to the near side.
But Puglisi's a throwback. If you've been watching college lacrosse for the last decade or so, Matt Abbott from Syracuse.
High shot, blocked away. Restic couldn't finish, but Notre Dame recovers and will play offense for the first time. Notre Dame's offensive keys, Brian Costabile, number 26 in white. Gleason as well.
Yeah, for sure. Those two get it done. From a dodging standpoint, everyone else, as Costabile has the ball here, can flourish because of the attention and the quick slides.
We talked with Kevin Corrigan earlier this week, and he mentioned for Costabile what an adept feeder is, but they said he gets inside that 14-foot range. They don't want him worried about dishing it. They want him firing off shots and trying to find the back of the net.
Down to 25 of the shot clock, Danny Dolan, who's had a very nice year so far for Maryland. 8.5 goals against on average. Gleason. Boy, it is loud in here.
It is loud in here. I thought dinner last night with you two was a problem.
It was. An absolutely raucous indoor situation. Did you ever have, Mike, this level of crowd for a practice of yours?
Not quite. Spring football practice didn't draw nearly as well in here right now, but this really traditionally, especially in Kevin Corrigan's record, the month of February bears this out. It is such a tough place for opposing teams to come in and try and get a win early in the season against an ultra-prepared Notre Dame squad.
Good sign for Maryland and Danny.
Got it clear. That's 20. Corley didn't get it across midfield in time.
He made the save, Dolan, on the sharpshooter Costabile, but that's a new rule in college lacrosse. You have the 80-second shot clock, but only 20 to clear, which is really creating tempo and up and down play. As much as the shot clock, everyone's welcomed, it's the clearing aspect of it. The 20 seconds they get across the midline, it's brought in riding from the opposing offense.
And a shot and a score from out in front. Connor Morin ties the game for Notre Dame. He got it from Jacobois. Morin finishes.
I watched this kid in high school, and if you're bored later, Google Connor Morin and watch his YouTube highlight reel. His dodging is what stood out. He's a bigger kid, well over 6 feet. He's thick, and he can get to the rack. Finding confidence and understanding the schemes within Kevin Corrigan's offense is what will be pivotal for Morin as he matures. Only a sophomore, but I love his upside. And if they can get attack play, we talked about it earlier, Mike Gold Jr., if they can get attack play and give Costabile more room to kind of operate up top, that's going to be huge, because right now all the pressure on opposing defenses has been from Costabile up top and Gleason from that wing area. You get behind presence from a guy like Morin, you're looking good.
Absolutely, and that's been what's defined so much of Notre Dame's offense in the past, is having that kind of balance with guys like Matt Cavanaugh, who are almost able to run point forward from that wing area.
Exactly.
If you can develop a little bit more of that and take the heat off, you're absolutely right. The sky's the limit for this group.
Here's Will Snyder in the first midfield line. You see Fairman coming on, who Kirk talked about off the top, out of Deerfield Academy, Sandy, Utah. Anthony DeMeo, who's got 5 goals to his name already this season. What do you like about Notre Dame's defense, Kirk?
It's what I like every year. Jerry Byrne and Kevin Corrigan are the standard defensively in terms of just consistency. They actually keep it pretty simple.
Fairman the pass out in front. Wisnauskas couldn't finish.
Everyone knows their role, and they don't change week to week.
You know exactly what you're going to get, and that level of communication is really what sets them apart. When you've got that familiarity, when you've simplified the parts, you get to focus on being great at your job within the system, and you see it bear out. That's why that's so consistent year to year.
Bad pass from Fairman to the sideline. DeMeo saves it.
Gotta love a 13-pound baby. That's a well-earned Bubba nickname.
That big dude. Schmidt gets in front of that one from DeMeo. That does reset the shot clock. I shudder to ask how big you were as a baby, Mike.
You know what? Shock of the century? 8-pounder.
Tiny baby.
Yeah, small fish. Had to work on it on the back end, and as you guys can clearly see from dinner last night, I had no problem getting there once they put the food in front of me.
Put it away a little bit.
I dabble.
There's another look at Bubba. 2 in red. Always has a smile on his face, too.
His name is actually Cole. Goes by Bubba.
When you look at the pairing of him and Logan Wisnauskas from what they did last year, one of the most prolific freshman duos Maryland's ever seen.
You look at Wisnauskas, I mean, only one Terp has hit 50 goals quicker than Wisnauskas, and that's Joe Walters, who was actually on my Mount Rushmore of all-time Terps.
Is 4-time All-American good? Is that decent?
That works. That works.
Saw Matt Schmidt already with a save in goal for Notre Dame. That lost to Richmond 9-8 their last game. So at 1-1 now for Notre Dame. Here's Christian Zawatsky, the senior, who's getting his first real major run at Maryland. One of those older guys seeing some more action, as that one is good. And buried by Kyle Long for Maryland. 2-1 Terps.
You talk about a senior, and they answer with the freshman. I watched Kyle Long in the Under Armour All-American game. Love his quickness and his ability to kind of sense where the defense's poor approach is. You see that jab towards the middle of the field, gets the defense to bite just a little bit, the hips rotate, and that's when you attack.
And we were talking before the game, Clark, this defensive midfield group for Notre Dame is really an area that Maryland's going to look to attack. And that time you saw Brooks Tyrell on the matchup, just couldn't stay in front of him. And that's going to be something Notre Dame has to worry about all day.
That's when you know you got him, when the hips turn, right?
It's like hoops, man. Weren't you at Purdue yesterday calling a hoop game with Dockage?
It was a hoop game for Purdue, maybe not for Ohio State. A little bit of a struggle for the Buckeyes.
Tough start at the face-off X for Notre Dame early in this one. You had the failed clear on the first one, and ever since then it's been all Maryland.
And the problem, too, for opposing teams against Maryland, they hit you with 2 guys. You got Shockey and you got Henningsen, so it's like once you start getting into a groove, they throw the other guy out there.
That one is buried as well by Bubba Fairman. 3-1 Maryland.
The question coming into the season, everyone knew this kid had star written all over him. How would he react of being the guy and getting the pole? Because Connor Kelly, an all-time great, for Maryland, graduates last year. He let Bubba kind of get acclimated, right? And didn't have to rush him to be the star. We know we had Bernhardt behind, but now the guy up top who can stretch a defense, can beat you off quick ball transfers. Bubba is showing he's ready for this.
There was not a lot of shooting space there. He got that up pretty quickly now.
13 pounds. I mean, that's abnormal. That's ridiculous. 13 pounds.
Yeah.
Mom deserves a medal for that one. That is a large young man.
Dad, as you saw, started some club lacrosse teams in Utah, which certainly helps the knowledge of his son. 4-1 in face-off so far. Puglisi again with the ground ball. And Makar, the freshman, out of lovely Yorktown, New York. Yorktown Heights. You know anything about there, Kark?
Just a little bit. We call it the
Been there
Y.
once or twice?
Yeah, we call it the Y.
The Y.
The Y.
The Y.
Uh-huh.
Tough kid.
What you can't see, folks at home, is the goofy smile Kark has on his
I'm
face
proud of
whenever
my
he talks
hometown.
about
And I'm proud of
Yorktown.
kids like Makar and Jose Boyer, 46 and white. They're the type of guys who shovel the old lady's driveway in a snowstorm and don't tell anyone.
See, this is what you've invited into the booth now, Jason.
Well, but look, I imagine Kark just price gouges the old ladies after he shovels the driveways.
I would never shovel you out of a storm. I'll tell you that much.
Well, we already knew that.
That much I have learned in my short time with you guys already. I have to keep the peace up in this booth. That's why they brought me in.
An impossible effort. That one's too high off the feed from Dubik to Zawadzki. I was threatened multiple times at dinner last night.
By who?
Okay.
Now, it was with a butter knife. We should make that known. It wasn't anything that was going to do damage, at least I think. I don't know, Kark, if
No,
you're
there was one steak knife for the moment.
I stand corrected.
Kyle Long's already got a goal for Maryland. The unbeaten Terps and the backup to Bernhardt and
3
Maryland.
left on the shot clock now.
Got to get it on cage. The pipe does count to reset the shot clock.
And you see Bernhardt rolling the ball. And the reason he's doing that, he's not going to attempt to go to the cage or get a shot off. Get your team in a riding situation so you could pressure Notre Dame to clear the ball in 20.
Easily done for Tommy McNamara, and Notre Dame off the clear. Now, in the first 20 seconds, you can go back behind midfield.
Correct.
Then once 60 hits, you've got to keep it in front of the midline.
Important possession for Notre Dame here. Just settle it back down. Your offense hasn't seen the ball in a while, and give your defense a breather going deep into the shot clock on that last one. Let them get their legs back.
Morrison Meyer, Nick Stinn, second midfield line on for Notre Dame, along with McNamara. Rick Meyer's son, Morrison, former quarterback here at Notre Dame. Gleason getting pounded by Makar. McNamara out front. Gleason off a double. 6 to shoot for Notre Dame. Down to 5. Nothing there. Out in front. McNamara is denied by Dolan.
Wow. Late in the possession, and Notre Dame finds a way to get a really high percentage shot. And Dolan, we've seen him steal a couple high and now low. He's on point.
Transfer from UMass out of Garden City. Great start for Maryland so far.
And the other side now, Maryland not going to waste any time. We've seen them a couple of times catch Notre Dame with some early offense here, slowing it down at this point. But I know that's something Jerry Byrne and this Notre Dame defense were worried about coming into this, is just how quickly Maryland starts getting into their sets.
By the way, you got to love how close the fans are here.
Oh, yeah. It's loud. It's close. But like Mike was saying, if you get deep into possessions against Notre Dame, they're actually better. Hard to wear that unit down.
DeMayo the feed. And a score for Wisnauskas.
Spent a year at Syracuse and redshirted. And when he left, he broke the hearts of a lot of Orange because they knew his upside was big. He's an exceptional lefty wing dodger that can find space in a couple different ways. He's got a basketball background, so he sees the field really well. But what I like about Logan is his ability to stretch a defense from that spot, because now you start pressing out on him, he can get underneath you. He's a good passer off of ball movement. He's a good dodger off of ball movement. But the first thing you need to stop is his outside shot, because when he has time and room, he is slinging it high.
Dolan led to that. Wisnauskas buries it.
Shot, because when he has time and room, he is slinging it high.
Dolan led to that. Wisnauskas buries it.
Number 15, Quinn McCann. Number 6, Ryan